...2011 PGA show. I'm here at TItleist with my buddy Michael, who is the Director of Golf Ball Product Management.
That's right.
Oh man, I got it right. Awesome. Okay, so obviously the ProV1s are a big deal, and we have a new version now.
Yeah, so we launched just this morning new ProV1 and ProV1X. Probably represents our biggest, the most innovation we've put into this family of golf balls since we launched them 10 years ago.
Really? Okay.
It's been pretty exciting. You know, the way we go about the development process for ProV1 is we get player feedback, and the feedback we got from players it was different for ProV1 and ProV1X. On ProV1, players are asking for more spin, increased spin, but of course they don't want to sacrifice any distance.
Now the ProV1 is the more spinny of the two.
It is.
And they want more spin.
They would like more spin.
Okay.
But like I said, they don't want to sacrifice distance. And of course, anytime you increase the spin, they're always worried about distance. So this really represented a completely new construction, new core, and new dimple pattern on the ProV1.
Really? A new dimple pattern?
New dimple pattern. So, as you're probably aware, when we launched ProV1 10 years ago, we launched with 392 dimples.
Right, and it had a seam.
And we now have the staggered wave parting line.
Right, I'm familiar with that.
352 dimples. So, new number of dimples, which is a big change for us. So, this dimple pattern is a big part of us helping match that increased spin and maintaining distance.
I've always associated the regular ProV1 with 392 dimples.
Yeah,
it's just always been.
Well, it's the way it's always been. And so this is a big change for us.
Okay.
So on the X side,
are they varying in size, the dimples, or are they all the same size? Okay.
Yeah, they are. They do vary in size, and the pattern. So we've had a icosahedron pattern on the golf ball. We've moved to a tetrahedral dimple design, which is a spherically tiled. Essentially, what that means is we're tiling the golf ball so you get very consistent tiles all over. So no matter how the golf ball is sitting, you're essentially getting a very uniform, consistent golf ball.
Okay. All right, and then we're going to move on to the X, which was 332 dimples, right?
That's right.
Is it still?
We've changed that slightly to 328, but more than the number, it's really more about the pattern itself. True for both of these golf balls, we've introduced what we call 3 staggered wave parting lines. So we have our traditional staggered wave parting line, which we've now put in 2 false parting lines. So there's 3 axes of symmetry on the golf ball. What that actually means is, if you were to cut the golf ball in half, and you can cut it in 3 different places and get 2 identical halves.
Okay.
Great for consistency again. But ProV1X, players told us they didn't want to sacrifice any of the greenside performance, any of the drop and stop performance that they've come to expect from it, but they wanted longer distance, and that's exactly what we deliver from ProV1X.
So we've gone to 328 on the dimples now.
328 from 332.
Any changes in the core of either ball?
Core remains the same on ProV1X. We have a new core process on ProV1. Again, this is it's an interesting process and a big innovation for us. When you're making a core of a golf ball, it's very similar to baking a cake or baking a cookie, where you're applying heat, creating a chemical reaction, and you're getting a result.
Okay.
But just like with a cake or a cookie, you get a hard exterior and a softer interior. With ProV1 cores, you get the same thing. You get a little bit different, you get a crust, you get a little bit different property on the outside of the ball to the interior of the ball. What we wanted to do is create consistency from the very center all the way to the exterior, so our new process does just that. So it's a big innovation for us.
So the core then is basically the same density all the way through?
Yeah, density isn't necessarily, but hardness is probably the right
hardness,
word.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now what about the outer cover? Is that the same as last year's model?
So it's the same cover materials, but it's the aerodynamic design that's really changed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of the new version.
Yeah.
The cover was a little different, compared to the other covers. It felt a little more rubbery or something.
The ProV1, I mean, the other thing, we're standing here next to one of our golf ball fitting displays. Golf ball fitting is really one of the things that informs almost everything we do. Our golf ball fitting mentality is we want you to lower your score with the best golf ball for your game. And so what we're trying to do with every performance improvement, it isn't just to make golf balls spin more or fly longer, it's to help players score their best. So with that in mind, we've actually increased the performance difference between the two golf balls. So over the last few years, they've maybe moved a little bit closer together with each innovation, and we've moved them further apart. So players are really going to be able to tell the difference. If you take these two golf balls out and you hit several different shots with them side by side, you'll certainly notice a difference.
Now, of course, my experience is with last year's model.
Yeah.
But it seemed to me like I got more spin with the X than I did with the regular. Is that because I'm like a freak, or is there a reason for that?
The X spins less on driver, long iron shots. That's one of the elements of design in the ProV1.
Right, but the spin I'm talking about, of course, is like 100 yards and in type.
And the spin characteristics on the ProV1 and ProV1X on shots like that are very close.
Are they?
Very, very similar.
I was just wondering if there was something wrong with my game, which I'm sure there is, but All right, well, hey, I appreciate all the time spent on the balls, and thanks, Michael, and I hope you have a great rest of the show.
All right, thank you. Have a good week.
Okay.